The police lights flashed red and blue across my apartment building, bouncing off the windows like restless reflections. I had only stepped outside because I heard shouting earlier voices from the parking lot, someone arguing, a crash, then silence. But I wasn't expecting to see her there. The police cruiser door opened, and out stepped a woman who made the whole street go quiet. Tall, confident, sharp-eyed with her hair tied back in a tight ponytail, and a look that said she was used to taking control. Officer Rivera. I'd seen her around the neighborhood before, usually handling late-night noise complaints or break-in calls, but I'd never spoken to her directly. She had a presence, strong, calm, intimidating without trying. The kind of woman who made you stand straighter just by looking in your direction. Tonight she walked toward me. "You called it in?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "I heard something break, thought I should check." She nodded, pulling out a small notepad. "Good, need a few details." She asked the usual questions. What time I heard the noise, what direction it came from, whether I saw anyone suspicious. But she kept glancing at me in a way I couldn't read. After a few minutes she closed her notepad and said, "Thanks, that helps." She didn't move away. Instead, she looked at my hand, my bare ring finger, then back at my face with an expression that shifted from professional to something else entirely. "You're not married, right?" she asked. I blinked, no. She took a small step closer, lowering her voice so no one else could hear. "I need your number." I froze. She didn't ask for it like a cop asking for more info. There was no notebook out, no pen ready. Instead, she stood there waiting, eyes steady on mine, lips slightly curved like she already knew I'd say yes. And before I could think, panic or logic kicked in, and I said the dumbest thing possible. "We're dating." Her eyebrow lifted. "Are we?" I swallowed. I didn't mean to say that. She stepped even closer, so close I could see the faint scar near her eyebrow, the tiny flecks of gold in her brown eyes. "Then what did you mean?" she asked softly. I opened my mouth, closed it again, struggling for a coherent explanation. But she didn't let me escape. She crossed her arms, hips slightly tilted, waiting. I finally said, "Why do you want my number?" She held my gaze for a long moment. Then she leaned in just slightly and said, "Because I've seen you around. You're respectful, you notice things. You look out for people." She paused. "And because I don't ask for numbers often or easily." My heart thudded. "So this is personal?" I asked. She nodded slowly. "Very." I didn't know what to say. She was a police officer, confident, strong, someone who dealt with danger daily, and yet here she was, asking me for something that had nothing to do with her work. I handed her my phone with trembling fingers. She typed something in quickly, handed it back and said, "Text me so I know it's you." I did. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She smiled slightly, the kind of smile that hinted at trouble in the best way. "You know," she said, "I've dealt with dozens of emergencies on this street, but this feels different." She started walking back toward her cruiser, then turned around one last time. "We're not dating," she said, "not yet." Then she got into her car, leaving me standing there stunned. But she wasn't done with me. The next night she texted first. "Are you home?" "Yeah." "Good, I'm coming over." I barely had time to process the message before she was at my door, still in uniform, knocking once before pushing it open like she owned the place. "You okay?" I asked, confused. She walked right past me into the living room. I had a long day, needed a reason to smile. I stared, and I'm the reason. She sat on my couch, stretched out her legs, and looked at me with a softness I hadn't seen before. "You're surprisingly calming," she said, "and I don't get calm easily." I sat beside her cautiously. She didn't move away. "You know," she added, leaning her head against the couch cushion, "that thing you said yesterday about us dating." I didn't mean to blurt it out, I said. She tilted her head, eyes narrowing in playful suspicion. Didn't you? I swallowed, maybe a little. She smiled slow, warm, dangerous. Good, she whispered. Then she reached out and lightly pushed her fingers against mine, not grabbing, testing, waiting to see if I'd pull away. I didn't. She slid her hand into mine, locking our fingers together. It felt easy, natural, like we'd done it 100 times. You know what I realized today, she said quietly. What? I don't want your number for reporting purposes. I want it because, she paused, as if choosing her words carefully. I want you to be the person I talk to after a long shift, the first person I text in the morning, the one who doesn't flinch when I'm tired or frustrated. She looked down at our hands. And maybe, she whispered, I want someone who sees the woman under the badge. My chest tightened. I turned fully toward her. I saw her the first night. She looked up, and that look alone could have melted steel. So, she said softly, if you still want to, we could make what you blurted out official. I leaned closer without thinking. We're dadding. She nodded once, slow, deliberate. We're dadding. Then she kissed me. Not softly, not shyly, like a woman who had spent years holding everything in, like someone finally letting herself have something she wanted. When she pulled away, breathless, she rested her forehead on mine. You're mine now, she whispered, just making it clear. I smiled. I can live with that. She squeezed my hand tightly. And tomorrow, she added with a smirk, you're taking me to breakfast, boyfriend. I laughed softly. Yes, officer. She kissed me again, slower this time, gentler, and whispered. Call me Rivera when I'm on duty. Call me anything you want when I'm off. And from that night on, we never went back to being strangers.